The most tragic motorcyclist deaths. Hey everyone, important warning. These stories are pretty heavy. Extreme cases where people lost their lives in devastating motorcycle accidents. The Frozen Highway Incident. January 12, 2018, Interstate 90, Montana. Marcus "Ghost Rider" Sullivan was 32 years old and well known in the endurance motorcycle community. He announced on Instagram, "Winter Challenge, 1,000 miles in 24 hours or give $5,000 to charity." The thermometer read 15 degrees. Friends commented, "Man, wait for the weather to improve." But Marcus had already raised nearly $12,000 in pledges. He left at 6 a.m., streaming everything via GoPro. By 6:30 p.m., the temperature had dropped to 25 degrees. The road was covered in black ice, the invisible, deadly kind. Marcus entered a curve at 85 mph. The front wheel hit the ice. In less than half a second, the bike completely lost traction. The 800-pound Harley-Davidson slid sideways. Marcus was thrown over the handlebars, his body spinning in the air. He first hit a metal sign head first. The impact was so violent that his helmet split in half. But it didn't end there. The momentum continued. His body ricocheted and landed beneath a truck behind him. 18 wheels rolled over him. The live broadcast continued for another 6 minutes. Over 3,000 people watched. The comments, "Someone call for help. Jesus Christ. No, no, no." Paramedics arrived within 11 minutes. Marcus was pronounced dead at the scene. His body was so badly damaged that they had to use dental records to confirm his identity. The charity received $47,000 in donations after his death. His family created the Ride Safe, Ride Smart Foundation in his memory. The tragedy of the motorcycle rally. July 4, 2016, Sturgis, South Dakota. The Sturgis Rally is legendary, folks. 500,000 motorcyclists, a whole week of celebration. But 2016 brought something no one expected. Derek Thompson, 41, was celebrating his 20th year in rallying. He was driving a customized Indian Chief. At 10:30 p.m., Derek and 5 friends decided to do a parade run down Main Street. What they didn't know, James Chen, 28, was filming from the second floor of a bar. He had had too much to drink. James decided to throw empty bottles into the street to watch the bike swerve. But James had already thrown the first bottle. It shattered in front of Derek's bike. Instant reaction. Derek swerved sharply to the left, directly into the path of another motorcyclist. Side collision at 40 mph. The 2 motorcycles exploded in sparks and twisted metal. Derek was thrown by the force of the impact. His body flew 30 feet and collided with a light pole. The force was so intense that the pole bent. The other motorcyclist, Robert Hayes, 55, skidded across the sidewalk. His bike slid under a parked pickup truck. Robert was crushed between his own bike and the truck's bumper. But the chaos didn't stop. The other 4 motorcycles in the group tried to slam on the brakes. In a chain reaction, 3 of them collided with each other. Metal slammed into metal, bodies were thrown, screams pierced the night. Sarah Mitchell, 38, was thrown against a display window. The glass shattered, and she fell inside. Shrapnel severed her femoral artery. She bled for less than 3 minutes before losing consciousness. In the end, 3 dead, Derek, Robert, and Sarah, 2 in critical condition, dozens injured. James Chen was found still on the second floor in shock, repeating, "I didn't mean to. It was just a joke. I was just joking." He got 25 years for triple manslaughter. During the trial, Derek's widow looked at him and said, "You killed my husband for fun. I hope this haunts you until your dying day." The Sturgis Rally now has much stricter safety protocols, but the 3 families will never get their loved ones back. The Clandestine Race Incident. September 17, 2019, Pacific Coast Highway, California. Illegal motorcycle racing is a growing problem. Adrenaline, ego, and absurd speed. This story has it all, and a devastating ending. Tyler Reeves, 24, was known as Turbo Ty in the Los Angeles Underground Circuit. His Kawasaki Ninja H2 was modified 3 to 10 horsepower, with a theoretical top speed of over 220 mph. Brandon Cole, 26, was riding a turbocharged Suzuki Hayabusa. Their rivalry has been a long-standing one. Social media is full of provocations, challenges, and trash talk. On a Tuesday night, they set a date. Pacific Coast Highway, 5 miles, at 2 a.m. They bet $10,000. More than 50 people showed up to watch. The starting point was marked with flares. Someone shouted, "On your marks." Engines roaring, tires heating, testosterone pumping. What? They took off in a burst of tire smoke. Within 3 seconds, they were over 100 meters. Within 6 seconds, they surpassed 150 meters. The road at night dark, only the beam of headlights cutting through the darkness. They rode the curves suicidally, leaning their bikes at impossible angles. 1 mile. Tyler leads by 2 bike lengths. Speedometer reading 195 meters. 2 miles. Brandon catching up, now side by side. 210 mah. The wind created turbulence between the 2 bikes. 3 miles. A sharp curve coming up, the one everyone knows, the one with the 35 mph limit sign. Neither of them slowed down. Tyler entered at 207 mph. Physics simply wouldn't allow it. The bike didn't turn, it continued straight ahead, straight into the barrier. The Kawasaki tore through the barrier like paper. Tyler and the bike flew off the cliff. A 300-foot drop straight into the Pacific Ocean. Brandon saw it and tried to brake. Too late. His Hayabusa skidded sideways, sparks flying as it disintegrated against the asphalt. Brandon was separated from the bike. His body slid down the road for over 200 feet. The friction literally incinerated his leather and fur suit. When he finally stopped, he was unrecognizable. The onlookers froze. Total silence. Then chaos. People calling 911, others vomiting, some simply running away. Divers found Tyler 3 days later. His body was still trapped in the wreckage of his motorcycle, 80 feet underwater. Brandon was pronounced dead at the scene. The coroner said over 60% of his body had suffered third-degree abrasions. He likely died while still conscious, in absolute agony. Both their families were devastated. Tyler's mother said at the vigil, "My son thought he was invincible, and now I have to bury what's left of him." The underground running community was shaken. Many stopped, but some still run. The Tunnel Incident, October 29, 2020, Fort Pitt Tunnel, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tunnels are dangerous for motorcyclists. There's no side exhaust, echoes distort sound, and artificial lighting can mislead your perception of speed. Kevin Martinez, 37, was a software engineer. Recently divorced, he had bought a Ducati Panigale V4 his therapeutic midlife crisis, as he joked to friends. That fall afternoon, Kevin decided to test the bike in the Fort Pitt Tunnel, 3,600 feet long, 2 lanes in each direction. He arrived at 5:40 p.m., rush hour. Traffic was heavy but flowing. Kevin was in the right lane, respecting the speed limit. But then, Alexander Volkov, 52, driving a sedan, suffered a massive heart attack. His car began drifting to the left, crossing lanes. Kevin saw the car coming. He had maybe 1.5 seconds to react. He tried to accelerate to escape, but the car hit him from behind. The Ducati spun out of control. Kevin was thrown from his seat. His body was thrown forward like a projectile, sliding across the tunnel's asphalt. But here comes the real horror. The traffic behind failed to stop in time. The first car ran over Kevin. The rear wheels crushed his pelvis and legs. The second car tried to swerve, but also hit him. More impact, more trauma. The third car, a heavy SUV, ran completely over his torso. 10 cars in total hit him before anyone could stop traffic, each additional impact destroying more of what was already a lifeless body. Witnesses described the scene as unimaginable. The tunnel was closed for 9 hours while investigators worked. Therapists were available to anyone who had seen the accident. Alexander Volkov's wife was devastated. Her husband had died at the wheel, and he had unintentionally caused the death of another man. She said in an interview, "I lost my husband, and I know another family lost theirs because of us." There are no words. Kevin's 12-year-old daughter started an online petition calling for more safety protocols in tunnels. She collected 200,000 signatures. Improvements have been implemented. More cameras, automatic incident detection, emergency stop systems. But Kevin won't see any of that. His Ducati was found 150 feet away, unscathed. The cruel irony, the bike survived intact. Rest in peace to everyone mentioned here. You were people, and you mattered.